Hi guys, this is the Viltrox 13mm F1.4. This one's actually for the Sony E Mount. The one you are looking at right now is for the Nikon Z Mount. Now, if you are a Nikon APS-C shooter, do you need to buy this lens? Yes, you do. Absolutely. Buy it. Let's talk about it. So first of all, a big thanks to Pergear for sending this lens out for review for you guys. This is for the Nikon Z Mount. I will be saying Z during this video. Even though I'm Canadian, I'm supposed to say Z, but most of my audience is in the United States, and I love pandering to an audience. So this is for my little Nikon Z30. And if, listen, APS-C, even if you have a Nikon full frame Z Mount, I just think this lens is an absolute bargain. If you have one of the APS-C cameras, this just is a no-brainer. Now, how do I know that? How am I so confident? Because it is arguably my favorite lens for the Sony E Mount system, and I have tested the crap out of that, and I have also tested the crap out of this, and it performs as well as it does with the Sony on the Nikon system. So it is just, listen, for what I do, I'm sitting here talking to the camera right now. I do vlogs, I do landscapes, I do cityscapes. This lens is just a dream come true, and it really makes my Nikon system work for me, because otherwise I didn't really have anything anywhere near this price point that I could use without adapting glass. And let's talk about the build quality a little bit before I show you some sample footage. And while the lens is not too heavy, I will put the exact weight up on the screen here. It is so fantastically built. It is all metal, and it has a nice metal hood that comes with it, and it's got an aperture ring, nice and smooth. Its focus ring turns wonderfully as well. It feels so good. It looks so good. Viltrox is really just doing great things right now. The reviews of this guy for the Fuji film system, the Sony system, and now the Nikon system, they are through the roof for good reason. It's absolutely fantastic. And the Nikon actually has an extra little weather sealing gasket in blue. It's a nice bright blue on the lens, and that is another added bonus for the Nikon shooters, better weather sealing. And this thing takes absolutely fantastic photos. It is sharp in the center, even at 1.4. It's actually sharp from corner to corner, even at 1.4, with only a small amount of vignetting when you're at 1.4. By the time you're 2.8, there's no vignetting whatsoever. And I can even live with the vignetting at the 1.4. It is quite minimal. Speaking of minimal, it has minimal focus breathing. See? Look at this. There is a tiny bit, but really, oh, look at this, I'm coming right into your living room right there. I got probably too far away from my microphone, but this very minimal focus breathing. Its chromatic aberration is well controlled. Its loci, its longitudinal chromatic aberration is well controlled. It does have some flares with some really bright lights if you're backlit, and especially if you don't have the nice metal lens hood on, you will get some flares, but and a little bit of ghosting, but the truth is it keeps a lot of contrast. It does better than most lenses in that situation. So if you're going to have subjects backlit a lot, this lens will do a good job, especially if you're out vlogging and the sun is behind you, then you will really appreciate that about this lens. And the price, this thing is $429. You get an ultra wide, a 13mm f1.4 that is optically magnificent for $429. It is going to make your Nikon APS-C system fly. And one of the reasons I love it so much is for studio work like you're watching right now, and vlogging when I'm out and about and I need a lens that's a wide angle focal length. I mean, look at the quality that you're getting from this particular lens. This is just me shooting it out there in Handsome Alley next to my house. And I actually took this out vlogging tonight, earlier tonight when it was around dusk. I like to vlog around dusk so I can put my f-stop lower and blur out the world. And this lens, it just looked magnificent. I am not showing you the audio right now because I screwed up the audio. I set my volume wrong. All the levels were all blown out, so I messed it up. But then I remembered, you know what? I have an f1.4 here. why don't I go back out and do a little night vlogging? So let's watch that one. So here we are vlogging. We're actually night vlogging right now because it is super late and I might get hit by a softball. Look at this. You can't see them back there because it's super blurry. But those guys are playing softball and they often hit the ball right in that direction. In fact, here it comes right now. See? There it is. How about that? Over there. They screamed heads up, but I was ready for it. Am I gonna go get the ball? No, I have an important vlog to do. This lady's gonna throw it back. That was nice of her, but she's not vlogging. She doesn't have important things to do. I had to redo this vlog because I screwed up my audio back when it was actually daylight out. So now I have to deal with the nighttime and flying balls close to my head. No jokes, everybody. What a fantastic lens this is for the vlogosphere. You got a Nikon camera? I don't care if it's full frame or APS-C. A 1.4 at 13 millimeters, you know, full frame equivalent, about a 21 millimeter. You can't go wrong with this lens. Phenomenal for the price, phenomenal for the usage. Now let me go avoid getting killed here. Oh, and now that it's pitch black, I'm actually using the light on my Zhiyun Crane M3. In case I didn't mention it in the last segment, and I know I did not because I was worried about getting hit by a ball, I'm using my favorite gimbal here, the Zhiyun Crane M3, and it has a little light on it if you want to do crazy things like night vlogging while other people socialize and play sports. If that's your bag, this gimbal has you covered. I like the gimbal with the Nikon and the 13mm because I find that it wobbles in the corner a little bit if you're using just the electronic stabilization in the Nikon itself. So I take out a little gimbal, and when it gets dark, flip on the old light, ready to go. This is a fun time. We're having a fun time. Okay, time to go back inside now and avoid the public. Did you see how I call the home run? I should be a coach, really, of that softball organization. They're probably going to ask me now that they've seen me walking around talking to a camera, and you would see a little bit of the flaring because I was under the bright stadium lights. Well, it's not really a stadium, the bright lights for the softball field. So you do see a little blue flaring from one of those very bright lights, but that is something that I am certainly willing to live with. Other cameras, other lenses would do a much worse job with those bright lights shining into a big lens like this. And yeah, I just love taking it around on the little Crane M3 from Zhiyun. Just here is a picture of what I was vlogging with. Like, look at that tiny little setup. It was just, people barely noticed that I was a self-obsessed YouTuber just talking to my camera about nonsense. Now, what are the cons of this lens? Well, there aren't many. I mean, it'd be nice if it was free, I guess. I would consider that a bonus. It is a little bit bigger than other APS-C lenses you might see, especially for other systems like Sony. Sony have some new tiny APS-C lenses that are wide focal length, so it's not the smallest lens in the world, and it doesn't have any optical stabilization. So that would be nice, especially on the Nikon system, where I find that the E-stabilization that is in the camera causes those warbles in the corners. So I would prefer to have a lens with stabilization, and then I might not have to take the camera out on a gimbal. Not that I mind doing that, but that would be nice. But other than that, I have almost nothing bad to say about this lens. There are few things that I have recommended harder than this guy. This is one of the strongest buys that I have ever recommended on the channel because it is so useful and it is so affordable, and it will give you what you're looking for if you want fantastic images and fantastic video, especially with that blurry background, or astrophotography. Are you an astrophotographer? Well, then this guy is the way to go for that as well. So your night vlogging, your astrophotographer, your studio work, your landscapes, your cityscape. What else do you want out of a lens? Stop asking for more. You can't get it. Anyway, thanks to Pergear once again for sending out the Viltrox 13mm F1.4 for the Nikon Z Mount, and I just love this thing. If you couldn't tell from the review, is it even a review? It's basically me praising the lens. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment if you want to, and we'll see you soon. Okay, bye-bye.